Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Political Spotlight. I'm going to steal Bilbrey's thunder because for some reason I'm on the wrong side of the screen.
What side of the screen you want to be on?
I'm in the captain's chair right now. I'm in the driver's seat right now.
Are you?
Well, I'm on the driver's side. Oh, there we go. And I'm a passenger.
I didn't do that. Who did that? Are you normally on what side of the screen do you believe that you're on?
I believe right now I'm normally on the side I'm on now, which is the passenger side.
Okay, to you it is the passenger side. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, now I'm in the driver's seat.
You're in the driver's seat for what kind of car and what kind of land?
Well, the best kind of land, the good old U.S. of A. is where I'm.
I just need to ask you give me a direction, left or right. What side of the screen are you currently on?
For me, I'm currently on the left side of the screen.
You considered okay, so you're looking at it. You're on the left side of the screen.
Oh, so you're like, if we're looking at the front of the car, you're on the driver's side through the windshield?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm drinking. I can't drive.
What are you drinking tonight, Brando?
I'm drinking Dragon's Milk Oatmeal Cookie Reserve.
Jesus. That just does not sound good.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
What's it look like? Is that it? Holy crap. It actually leaves like a residue on the glass when you tip it sideways.
It's a nice lace. All that.
Good Lord. Holy crap.
It's good.
Crazy.
Man. It's good.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. You know, something before we get started, I just noticed I have my Muncie pin, Muncie employee, City of Muncie, the seal of Muncie pin. Mm-hmm. But I noticed I've also been an employee with Delaware County, and Delaware County. I noticed that the Delaware County commissioners last night, last night I noticed it, but I didn't notice this. But they have little pins that are the seal of Delaware County, and I need to get my hands on one of those. If any of you people out there have access to the Delaware County little pin, the lapel pin that the counselors were wearing, I want one of those. I need to get my hands on it. I'm owed one, but I don't know. Where is it?
Steve, we're arguing who's Big Spoon and who's Little Spoon. Who's on top?
That's exactly. In some places, did you say bottom or top?
I say Big Spoon and Little Spoon.
Okay,
yeah, that's what Steve said.
Okay, well, that's getting real bad.
And Philip said I'm driving a minivan. It's more like a short bus.
That's exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome. We are back. I wanted to come in, of course, playing The Boys Are Back, but it's YouTube, so we can't do that.
That's actually if you do it poorly enough.
Right.
That doesn't recognize it.
That's right. It's so bad that they can't even tell. That's what I was going to title it, but then Brandon came in with a much better title than that.
And I came
And
up with an even better title that we're gonna have to use later. I'm not gonna spoil it. But
good, don't say it. Yeah, we'll have to use it. I
yeah.
I like this as soon as you said it. I mean, I didn't even read all of it. I just read there's one, and I thought, all right, we're down. So tonight is the 100. There's 127th episode. There's one for you, 19 for me.
Oh, if it was episode 119.
Did, that would be hilarious.
That would have been perfect.
He's not been on in that long. No, he was just on the other day. But yeah, we're back. Last night was a girls' skate. Dr. K and Catherine were holding the fort down, and I was able to get some things done. And they had a pretty good show. It was comical to me. Catherine did a great job. For all of you people that are watching this, if you did not watch last night's show, I want to give a very big special thank you to Catherine, who last night, just kind of on a whim, guest hosted the show. She's never done anything like that before. She's always been on as a guest. And while she is a talker and normally doesn't have trouble talking, it is a little bit different. People think, oh, that's not a big thing. But I kind of chuckled to myself when she was like at 19 minutes in, and she was like, God, how does he do this?
She held it down for almost 2 full hours, though, didn't she?
Did. Yeah, Kate did a great job. Kate came up and they played off one another and really did a good job. They were great. So much so that several people were talking about how they needed to do the two Kates on a Friday evening or Saturday evening, which I think would be brilliant. Someone even said they could do the two Kates on Wednesday. I thought that would be great too. So, I don't know. We got to talk. Kate's making obscene gestures down in the duck.
Well, my suggestion, it didn't work out.
Yeah, right.
Kate
right.
didn't appreciate it.
I was fine with it too. It sounded wonderful.
It's like, we'll just retire, and then Kate can just run the whole thing.
Run the show. What would really be good is if we could get her to do the producing and the hosting.
and we'll take a nap.
I could just be watching Netflix and watching documentaries and stuff. But
and just in the comments, giving her shit.
Commenting like once a month. All right, good show. No, they did a good job. So I want to say thank you to Kate and thank you to Catherine and all of that. So we'll have to try to do that. We'll have to do that a little bit more often. See what goes on. I think that would be cool.
Has Dr. K not done a show before? Like, I know she's been a guest. I thought she'd done like her own shows before.
No.
Oh, for some reason.
No, she's recorded meetings.
Oh, that's okay.
And she's
got her own channel and everything, right?
She's got a YouTube channel that she posts meetings, but I just think that's relatively new. I don't think she's ever done anything really with it before. So she did a good job. I highly suggest to everybody creating a YouTube channel and just flooding the market. So that would be that. Yeah, I had internet issues. When? Last night?
Well, it's definitely nice to have people getting access to these meetings for sure.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of people asking about Winchester's meetings and asking if I was going to try to go. The problem is Winchester and Muncie have meetings if it's the first night of the month, the first meeting of the month, I can't do it because Winchester and Muncie's meetings are at the same time. But Winchester normally cancels their crap. And so if it's the second Wednesday, the second meeting, which is the third Wednesday of the month, I could go to that. However, it's just kind of hard, and it makes it kind of difficult if they're only going to have a 40-minute meeting, running there. It takes 40 minutes to get there just to be there for a half-hour meeting. I do know I have heard, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but I do believe that there is one or two people that might, in the very near future, start recording the meetings and posting them. I know that Eric has talked about it, possibly,
Oh, that'd be good.
and Danielle, I don't know what her name is, Keitlinger. Is that her name?
Danielle. We all know who
Danielle.
Danielle was.
You know who Danielle is. So, yeah. And I think that her and Eric have talked about doing that. So that would be kind of cool.
So the Winchester and Muncie one at the same time?
On if it's the first meeting of the month, yeah.
Do you see Lisa at the Muncie one? Because they don't get the Winchester one, so she's got to be somewhere.
Look, she's got just about as good a chance of showing up in Muncie as she does any other city in America besides Winchester.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty comical. That's hilarious. So, yeah, that's that. I do want to say real quick before we get started, just kind of in a little bit of follow-up news, because I know I've also been getting asked about this, and it's again just sucky things to talk about. But I've had a lot of people been asking about what is currently going on, or what we've heard, or what's happening with Mr. Galligan. He had some kind of a court date here in the last couple days. He did not show up to a court date in Tippecanoe County, and they have actually now issued a warrant for his arrest. So there is a warrant issued for his arrest. As far as the charges in Randolph County, something funky is going on. Kate brought it to our attention today. If you go to my case, there are now, instead of him having one charge of several counts, there are now two different cause numbers. And one of the cause numbers just is like what it was. And the other one is very similar, but everything's kind of like hidden. And it says like decided. And I don't understand what in the hell that could mean. It's very weird, very scary. They better not be messing around with that, and they better do that.
Is he some kind of British double agent or something?
I'm telling you, he's either a spy, an idiot, or yeah, right, or I guess a spy. He could be spy, could be good or bad, but yeah. He's like some kind of double agent or something. I don't know.
Can you imagine you hire someone to be a spy, and the next thing you know, they're threatening people with an AK and
right,
pay him $15,000. You're like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, right. I don't think you understood the assignment, dude. They're telling you to fit in. Nothing you're doing is fitting in. Well, I thought Americans drove regular cars, new cars every day.
Well, it is Winchester, so some of that stuff he does fit in. I'm just saying.
True. Oh God.
I mean, it is what it is.
So yeah, we'll keep you posted. No news on the other guy. It is what it is. I'm hearing that he's having a rough time in jail, and I guess good things come to those who.
Oh, so you're just gonna avoid talking about him so you can talk about Sproles some more? I see how you are.
Yeah, right.
It's all that the no news about him instead of bad mouthing Sproles all the time.
All that blue cod kind of thing I got going on.
Yeah.
So, anywho, I in the description tonight to the show, other than just continuously saying the boys are back over and over and over, I said last night it was girl power on the show, but the boys are back tonight and they have a lot to say. Come along and join in. The girls had the run of the place last night in episode 126, but for 127, the boys are back. And that's right. Host Kristopher Bilbrey and Brandon Rudd are on
something.
On the line for the episode. Yeah, right. They both have a lot to say about what has currently been going on pretty much everywhere. The bottom line is, and this is something new I've been saying a lot, but I like it, and we'll keep saying it until we just completely burn it up too. Right now, no matter where you're talking about local government, from the smallest town, the villages, cities, to state government, meaning Indiana or New Mexico, Texas, Utah, Florida, Maine, or beyond, or the federal government, meaning the top of the top, it all boils down to one fact. And I think that this is very important. It's the problem that we are facing is the elected officials are no longer accountable to the public. There's no accountability to us, the citizens, to us, the voters, to the bosses out here, meaning, the people who are supposed to be in charge. The elected officials do not have accountability to us, the voters or the public. They are only accountable to each other. And that's why we have the problem. Republican on Republican, Democrat on Democrat, Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter what's going on, who's in charge, who's going on. It's the same thing. They're only accountable to each other, and they feel no accountability to us whatsoever. And that's the issue. And so I think that's what we're going to be talking about. Brandon has some interesting things that we were getting pissed off about last night, and I'm pretty much in line with him. So that's what we're going to be talking about this evening.
Yeah. Yeah, so back to the title. The one for you, 19 for me. I was thinking about our general theme of, like you said, the government's looking out for themselves. Not worried about legislating to benefit us, but to benefit themselves. And we always get the short end of the stick, and it's ridiculous. I was pretty fired up last night. I could barely eat my Chick-fil-A salad. I was so mad, but I ate it anyway. But what really got us fired up is obviously we've not been happy about HB 1338, which got muscled through in record time.
Dude.
It's completely ridiculous. I know you've been talking about it ad nauseum, but I haven't really had an opportunity. But it's ridiculous to me. We have an opportunity every year to try to get some legislation done and make things better for Indiana, and that's never seems to be a priority. It's like we got bullshit bills to name us the Hoosier State, bullshit bills to name a state sandwich. What citizen benefits from this stupid HB 1338? They're going to make these stupid rules for the council meetings so they can kick people out. And it's a stupid bill anyway. There's huge loopholes, and I'm not going to mention on here because those idiots will fix it. We'll just let JD be a dumbass.
Yeah, right.
Know what he's doing as a legislator and miss these huge loopholes that are going to make things probably worse for them in the long run. But it's ridiculous. I love his. We're not. I wish I could do an impression of his voice, but I'd have to hit myself in the head with a brick. But his little snivelly voice on, we don't want to violate people's First Amendment rights. We never want to do that, would we, JD? I don't know how many people in this chat are blocked on his freaking Facebook page because he doesn't like being called out.
Yeah, it's like this guy has no clue. He doesn't know. To him, saying things like that, like we don't want to violate the First Amendment, those are literally just words that he says that he doesn't truly believe. They're just words. It's like when, it's just things that he does like to get through the day. It's like when he stands up and he says the Pledge of Allegiance as quickly as possible, not thinking about what each and every one of those words means. And, stands up and listens to the Star Spangled Banner. We've all been there, at a sporting event and listening to some, third-rate country singer try to scrape through the Star Spangled Banner. And we're like, let's get to the ball game, but those words actually mean something. And when you've got this idiot standing on the floor of the State House saying, oh, we don't want to violate anybody's First Amendment right, he literally doesn't think about everything that he does on a freaking daily basis to do just that.
Oh, exactly. And the other funny thing about the bill, another thing I've been the thought I've been tinkering with is that this sounds like a bill from like like a California, like, liberal college or something, right? Where, "Oh, we can't have Republican speakers or conservative speakers on the campus because that might hurt somebody's feelings, and they don't feel comfortable with, a Ben Shapiro speaking on our campus, so we've gotta silence him," and it's like some safe space bullshit from the
Yeah.
super right-leaning conservative Republicans in Indiana. Now they're telling us, "Oh, well, your words might hurt somebody else's feelings, and they need to feel safe in a meeting from your mean old words. So if you say something that we don't feel meets our rules of decorum, you don't get to say it."
Right. Right.
And I was watching my meme again right before this where, I did the curb your, First Amendment or
Yes.
whatever,
I love it.
and I get so annoyed listening to him when he goes, "Well, yeah, I think people should be able to speak to their officials, but they must blah blah blah." It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't must anything. You don't get to tell me what I have to say or not say, dude.
Right.
They must do it in this way."
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah. Yeah, and I like how his answers always are like, but anyone can come in here, anyone can get up and say what they want to say, but it's got to be done like we do in here. We have decorum in here. Yeah, let's talk about that. There's no agendas posted anywhere. You don't know what time anything is. The website is harder than hell to operate.
mhm.
Nobody knows when they can go down, how the process is of getting through and testifying on the floor. It's a hard process, and that's what they're wanting to make each and every town council, city council, to our theory, I think a legislative update in the future. They're wanting to make all of it as hard as the state house because they don't have to deal with citizens going down there. It's really hard to go through that process, and it shouldn't be that way.
Well, and that's the whole point. Everything they do is to make their job easier and make ours harder. I mean,
Yes.
like, you should be able to go on the IGA website, and it should have a list of there should almost be something on the front page that says, "Oh, do you wanna testify on a bill? Click here," and it should take you to a menu of, "Here's the bills and the days that you can come testify." It is hard as hell to find anything, and JD said when, he argued before I gotta find the meeting. He's like, "Well, people wanna know what's going on. It's real easy to just go on the website. You can find everything."
Yeah.
Dude, it's not easy. You're full of crap. Endlessly frustrating. But that's what it comes down to, and this whole bill is, well, the bill in itself doesn't violate your First Amendment. Okay, I can agree to that, but it's like saying, "Well, I'm gonna write a bill that says someone can stab you." But you're not gonna get stabbed unless they do it. I mean, we're just
Right.
saying they can.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, you're telling them they can violate my First Amendment rights. Well, that doesn't mean they're violating them. I mean, they have the option now. Dude, you think that Winchester's not gonna we've already seen the rules. You think they're not gonna shut down anyone who criticizes them?
Yeah. It's it's to the point. In city of Muncie, we've not had our second meeting of this new council yet. We just had our first Muncie City Council meeting of this brand new term with these brand new counselors. They should be like chipper and cheery and raring to go, excited, getting up there and being excited that, my golly, we won the election. We won. We're going to be able to serve our community and do the things that we wanted to do. We literally beat out other people that wanted this job, that were doing a good job in the last council. And the very first thing that they say when they get past the business part, their very first action of kind of basically speaking to the public is reminding the public that we're going to cut you off at 3 minutes if you go over, and we do not want any personal attacks. And I'm like, my golly, that's the very first thing that you guys are doing is letting us know, like what we can't do, what you don't want, and you're already trying to tell us what we can and can't say. That does not sound like somebody who was just begging for votes, 3 months ago.
Oh yeah. So they talk about decorum in meetings, and we know which council this bill came from. How about this for decorum? How about if you're going to set rules for decorum to fix those meetings, where's the rule that says government officials at this meeting need to be sober when they show up to the meeting? How about that as a rule?
Yes.
How about department heads who show up to that meeting? If they show up to the meeting intoxicated, they be removed from their position and the meeting because
Yeah.
they are a representative of that community and they should not be showing up to the meetings intoxicated. I'm not saying anyone's doing that.
No.
I'm just saying if they did, why is that
Yeah.
not a rule in there that they show up sober?
Sure. Absolutely. They go in to get their mail and their agenda, and it's kind of like one of those ignition devices they blow in for the DUI. Right as they get ready to reach in to get their thing, they got to blow. And if they're over, the police come out and deal with them, or they can't counsel this time. But yeah, think about it. And it's not just for the elected officials, but it's for the non-elected appointed people, whether
Yeah.
you're talking about legal counsel attorneys, or you're talking about other boards like a board of works, or redevelopment commissions and things like that. That would really cause an issue, and it should be intoxicated on whatever kind of substance, whether it be alcohol or drugs or whatever. I feel like, they should be able to test that, because think about this: alcohol and other narcotics are known to, either be depressants or be uppers, and it fluctuates your mood and has a way to, kind of get you kind of off kilter. Like Yoko said, where are the rules that say you've got to show up if you're elected? If you're elected and you're getting paid tax dollars, how about we have a rule that you have to show up.
To at least 3/4 of the meetings or something, right?
Mhm.
I mean, things happen. You have family emergencies, whatever.
Sure.
But if someone's missing half or more or around half,
Yeah.
it should probably be removed from the position. It ought to be a rule. We're trying to fix these councils. Let's do it.
Right.
Instead, you've gone to protect the council further, make their jobs even easier. They show up they can show up intoxicated if they want to, not show up at all. They can be a public official who shows up and starts poking and assaulting people and they don't get removed, they don't get arrested. Why don't we enforce the laws that already exist? When a public official assaults someone in a hallway or in a meeting, arrest them and don't give them a pass because they're a public official.
Right. Right.
Or
Well,
employee, I should say.
yeah, same thing. And that's very true. And it just goes back to the fact that, how does, let's, you know what? Okay, day one, let's just vote it through 3 votes. Who here gives a shit if JD is the one that gets to say that he named the Indiana state the Hoosier state? I mean, that's the only thing he wants. He wants to be able to someday sit around and tell his grandkids, I named the state the Hoosier state. It's only an ego boost thing, because, how long have we been called Hoosiers? There's a movie, for God's sakes, man. I mean, it's not like this is, I don't get the point of this. Who's this helping? Did somebody contact him and say, how are you hurt by the fact that we don't have an official designation that is the actual official by law nickname of the state of Indiana? Like, it shouldn't, honestly, it should be a resolution. That shouldn't be actual business.
Yeah.
It's nonsensical. And then they're like, well, it's a short session, we don't want more than so many bills. But they're letting them pass through those nonsensical bills. They're letting them do that nonsense.
Well, it's bull crap anyway. They're like, we'll just do a short session, 5 bills per person. Let's get done because we got to get campaigning. It's a campaign year. Let's hurry up and get done. We're not trying to work hard this year. We're just trying to get shit done real quick so we can get on the campaign trail, start accepting big money, start collecting dollars. It's ridiculous. And we're going to get sued by IU for trying to call ourselves a Hoosier state. If we really want to make a power move, We need to get dibs on the Buckeye State before Ohio locks it down.
That's hilarious. I would rather be called the Mile High City or
Shit,
well,
let's
I
get
mean,
all
what
of them,
would we
dude.
call it? Yeah, let's get them all.
He's got 5
JD,
bills. Get at least 5 states. Start locking them down. Make them pay us for the right to call themselves that. Start collecting some revenue, man.
that's smart.
Well, we
That's
can't
a
do
good
that with our
idea.
local government.
The other thing is, and I won't say any names, but you and I were talking, and you said that we were talking about like why they do this, and Brandon said to me that the issue is, and this is just how it is. We know this, that if you go in, if somebody goes in and says, all right, I want to make a difference, and I'm not going to bow down, and I'm not going to be led around by the nose by the HRCC, and I'm not going to have the Republican Speaker of the House telling me what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in, I'm going to be my own person, and I'm going to give updates from the floor, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And then what happens is if you go in with that attitude, they do whatever they can to smack you down. I was talking to somebody else today, and they said, they take away your parking pass. You got to park somewhere way far away. And I'm like, so? Okay, like you're
petty
talking
is
about
that, though?
doing, yeah, right. They take away your parking pass. We've heard of instances of them moving offices way far in the building. They don't let you participate in the caucus. So you're an elected official. The citizens of your district elected you to send you down there to do the business of the state. But because you don't play ball with the leadership of the Republican Party, they don't let you participate in the caucus. They don't let you in to hear what they're going to do. And then when it comes time to vote, there's so many bills, you can't read them all. Well, I can name you like 15 problems with that. Number one, nobody should be stopping you from getting information in there. You should be able to get the information that everybody else gets. You shouldn't be allowed to vote without having a limited bit of information as a representative. You shouldn't be able to say, well, I don't know anything about this. They wouldn't let me see it. They should say, well, I'm sorry, you can't vote. So that's insane. And number two, there shouldn't be so many bills that you can't keep track of them. I heard yesterday someone said that they just can't keep up with all of the bills, and so there was an organization that was trying to help people with this, and it's like they couldn't even do it. An organization that was getting paid to look through all these bills to keep the representative in the know, they couldn't even get it all done. That's a problem. What are we doing? What are all these bills that we're passing? It's just nonsense. Most of them aren't even going to be heard. Let's strip all those out and throw that shit away. Like maybe we need to start a thing where they write 10 bills in all of the year, and let's really focus on those and make sure that they're bills that are helping citizens. They're benefiting the state of Indiana. They're not, it's nonsensical that all this other shit is going on. It's all listening to that vote the other day and how they're doing that is stupid.
Yeah. I see people in the chat talking about how much money JD was paid last year. He does make a little over 70,000, but also benefits. So we're paying for he and his family's health care, all that kind of stuff. They get like a representative plate, so they never get tickets and shit like that. They're gonna get a sweet God, what do you call it? Like I'm gonna space the word. It's one of those brain fart deals. But he'll be paid even after he's out of the house, like in perpetuity or whatever, like they do his retirement and all that stuff. So with the benefits, they probably make over 100,000 a year when you think about it that way. And the thing is, they get paid like per diems as well. They get like a base salary, so they can argue that they make like 20,000 or something base salary. Then days they're in session, they make like a certain per diem, let's say $200. Then days they're out of session, they make like $100, because when they're not in session, they're still supposed to be working, going around talking to people in community. JD is, as far as I know, barely doing that at all. He's doing his own thing, farting around, not working for the people. So basically, we're getting hosed on that huge paycheck. So it's ridiculous.
And there's 100 of those people, guys and girls.
150 with your Senate.
150 with the senators, 50 senators, 100 representatives. And so.
And they gave themselves a raise last year.
Yeah, right. And they got mad when that's pointed out. And
They're
that's
like, well,
part of the problem.
It wasn't a raise. I mean, we had to take it. I was like, you mean you guys couldn't pass a bill that says you guys make less money? I'll tell you what, if I were in the House, that would be one of the first bills I'd write. Like, we shouldn't make more than the average of the people in our district. That's all there is to it. You shouldn't be in that job to make money.
Right. That's exactly accurate. And the fact that that's what it is for so many people, and that's what they're afraid of, right? You can't take away that because they threaten these people. Well, if you don't play ball, then we're just going to beat you. We'll just put somebody in, we'll primary you, and you'll be gone. I
mean, they spent millions last election getting people out. They redistricted and spent millions. They did everything they could to get people out.
That's what they did. Because remember last night when I said in 2020 they wrote the law stating that now you needed 2 primaries instead of 1. In 2022 they had the redistricting, and then this year they're doing all this other nonsense. You can't.
Last year they did the raises.
Yeah, dude. These folks, since COVID, before that definitely. But since COVID, since 2020, all that the state government, the state representatives, the state senators have done, for the most part, there are people that are doing some things, but for the majority, a lot of what they're doing is all about protecting themselves, protecting fellow elected officials, and making sure that things are better for them, making sure that the elections are shored up, making sure that they can't get primaried, making sure that if they are primaried, the losers aren't going to have a chance, just doing all of that stuff. And then you kind of get into the conspiracy side of saying, like, okay, well, like, where's the help? Who's helping them? Is it the state parties doing all this crazy shit, and each individual county party chair? And there's actually elected officials who will tell me, like, bro, you gotta like come down off that. Stop watching Alex Jones. It's not all like this. It's not all like this. And then yesterday, Brandon sends this this thing. You want to play this? Is that a good time to do this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you've already kind of teed it up. Go for it.
Yeah, let's look at this. And I'm sure that most of you have heard this, and most of you know this now because it's been news and it's been literally everywhere. But I feel like we probably ought to play this and listen to this. And so this is Kari Lake. And look, I had this conversation with my grandparents earlier. It doesn't matter if you like Kari Lake or you think she's a nut job. She could be a saint. She could be a sinner. The issue at hand is not her. No issue. The issue is what the man on the right is saying to her.
Yeah, Jeff Dimwit.
Yeah. And if you're someone that says, well, she was recording him and she was setting him up, there are plenty of things that he says in here that are clearly of his own free will. So let's hate her if we want. But also, we need to seriously look at the game that is being played here.
You can hate her and this game.
Absolutely. Yeah, hate her and the game. This is not something about her. We can say that her name's Jim Bob Blowhard, or it's she's whoever she somebody else. The issue is what's being said to her, because you guys need to know that what's being said goes on in every state, in every political race, in every party, in every city, in every county. It has absolutely everything to do with what goes on in the politics. So let's play this and let this set up. So basically, for the people that don't know, she is a candidate and she's talking to the Arizona GOP chair.
Yeah, she ran for governor and lost, but she's suing because she suspects foul play, but she's running for Senate now, right?
Yeah. So she ran for governor, lost. She's suing, and now she's running for Senate. And she's a Republican, and the man on the right is a Republican. And here the recording starts.
What's going on? I'm assuming this is our friend.
This is back east. There are very powerful people that want to keep you out.
I know they do.
But they're willing to put their money where their mouth is in a big way.
Why is he talking like a gangster?
This conversation never happened.
Yeah.
This is crazy, though. They should want me. I'm a great candidate. People love me. These people are corrupt.
Well, maybe you're right.
They are right. They are corrupt.
Maybe. This never happened. Don't go. Do you ever though? I'll get myself in trouble.
I'll get myself in trouble.
If you say no, that's just fine. It's your choice. Don't tell people.
They're gonna
tell
have
people
to have
about
me
this.
murdered.
Not that either. Today's world, man. If that stuff that came out last week
Today's
is right about
world,
the
man.
cartel stuff, I mean,
Yeah.
they say the cartel's operating in 50 states right now, like all 50. You know? So
So what's going on? Who is it? What?
forget the who.
Forget the who.
Let me just tell you the what. Let's just say there are people calling around saying, "Gosh, no, they can't repeat this. Never repeat this." If you say no, don't. If you say, "I got offered to buy out," don't use it. Because then we lose our ability to get things done.
Because then we lose our
Here's the
ability
point.
to get things done. And again, don't fool yourself and say, oh, this is just because she said blah, 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 blah. This is happening everywhere.
Rather than just say, let's work with her. She's a great candidate. Because they don't own me. And it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's not about ownership.
It's about control.
I don't know if it's about control. It's about being on the team. I guess that's, you know what I mean?
They want to be on the team.
It's about being on a team. And I don't know how many times I've heard this in Delaware County. I don't know how many times I've heard this from the mouth of Ed Carroll and from Jessica Piper, from Victor Whitehead, from Ben Wells, from Tim Hyde, from Russ Willis. They all are saying the same thing. It's about being on a team, being a team player, paying your dues, waiting your turn, sitting things out. You know, this is I could have written this as a script.
They want you to be on their team.
But,
Just team. You know?
but if they're pushing a globalist agenda, I can't do that. So what do they want? What do they want me to do?
They want you to stay out for 2 years.
They want her to stay out of the race for 2 years.
But I'll tell you what I can offer you.
I'll tell you what I can offer you.
But I said you can do whatever she wants. Talking head, this and that. So the ask of me was, it's kind of funny. So the ask I got today from back east was, it has to stay between us. Is there any
From back east. I mean, listen to how this idiot's talking.
Does that mean DC? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
companies out there or something that could just put her on the payroll and give her to keep her?
Is there any companies out there that could just put her on the payroll to keep her out?
So it's some BS position where they say, "Hey, we'll hire you to," kind of like how Michelle Obama did for a while. Remember, she had like some cush job where she's making like $500,000 a year to just sit on some weird board for some company she had no experience with.
Sure. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of in House of Cards when Frank Underwood's wife like ran that like water global initiative thing that she did, and they were doing all that stuff, and it's just like very like Hillary Clinton-esque, and just all of the first ladies that do things like that, and all of the people, all of the senators' wives and senators' husbands, you know, going both ways, whatever, but just that are always on these boards and part of these companies and CEO of this, and now they're the professor of this thing, and it's like, what talent does this person have, or what training or experience does this person have to put them in this position, other than the fact that, you know, they're being paid off? Yeah, totally insane.
Well, what do you want them to do? Like, whatever we need to do.
This is about defeating Trump. And I think that's a bad thing for our country. DeSantis is not America First. This is about the final death blow to Trump. And I don't
Yes,
think that's good
Catherine,
for our
that is.
country.
And you know I love Trump. I love Trump.
It's not good for our country, Jeff.
It's not, but at the same time,
It's not good for country, but
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Trump can win. I don't know that he can win.
yeah.
I think what it really comes down to for a lot of people, it's not really about like control or agenda. It's just about the ability to raise money to win.
So in my opinion, it
If you
doesn't
really
matter
want
if
to know,
you win or not. People should still have.
What would you say?
It doesn't matter if Trump can win or not. It matters if
Yeah.
people have a choice.
Right.
But they want to
right.
play these strategy games. Oh, well, people may not prefer this candidate, and people can hate Trump or whatever. But if the vast majority of people want him, that's how it works.
Right, and it works that way on both sides of the thing. And but at the end of the day, if a candidate wants to run for a Senate position and legally fits the requirements to be able to run, that ought to be happening. And there shouldn't be these shadow organizations, trying to buy them out of a race.
And even on their end, like what makes them the most money?
I know all these consultants don't want their payday to end. And I don't want to make a deal with these kind of people. This is a hill worth dying on. I'm not, if they're going to steal the election to make me and our movement go away, I'm not letting them do that. I owe it to the people of Arizona to carry their torch and their voice.
Or
you don't go away.
But you just
pause.
This is the battles right now, Jeff.
And you fill your coffers.
No, the battle is right now. The battle is right now, and we don't have time to pause on this battlefield.
You're not. You can't scratch their back. It's not afraid of you.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to offer them. And they're sitting around people that have something to offer them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just it's a back scratching club. That's all DC is. It's a big back scratching club. You're in no position to scratch anybody's back, and you've already made it known that if you get there, you're not going to scratch anybody's back. I don't scratch people's back. I've been on the outs with a lot of people for a long time because I don't scratch backs.
Mhm.
Where are we in 2 years?
I don't scratch anybody's backs, but I am in a position that somebody can call me up and say, "Hey, put pressure on this person," and I'm like, "Yeah, oh yes, sir, yes, sir."
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, what? You don't scratch anybody's backs?
What are you doing right now?
Yeah, you're dude. You're the middleman in the ass to mouth centipede, bro.
If they steal the election again.
Listen to what you're saying. Why don't we do something about it so that we the people can pick our...
What can we do?
I'm not willing
What
to accept
can we
that.
do?
Then I'm going to be the biggest pain in these people's... Go back and tell them that. I'm running, and I'm going to be the biggest pain in their...
I'm willing to tell them that.
We do.
And they're going to have to kill me to stop me.
I know. Look. And
You don't have to tell them that, but I don't think they will. But
You don't
I think that's
tell them that.
either they come around and try to work with me, or I'm
what
just
would
going
that
to...
entail?
That would entail
Alva.
not
All of
telling...
them-
Layman's telling me, you got to distance yourself from Trump. I know, you distance yourself from
he's-
DeSantis.
He's all butthurt about that.
But what I'm saying is,
Butthurt.
don't tell people that. I'm with Trump, okay? I want to work for
I
the
love
betterment of Arizona. I'm not going to let these people back in D.C. tell me not to run.
Tell them that.
Oh, sure. You mean back
I'm not going
east?
to pause for 2 years. The battle is now. I'm offended by whoever these people are that they're trying to buy me out of.
So a few minutes ago, he's telling her, "You don't have you can't. You don't have anything to offer them." So he was like cutting her down, letting her know she's nothing. These people are bigger than you. Now he's like spinning it. He's like the salesman here, right? Now he's telling her she's offended. So now listen to the technique he uses.
Well, you should be honored.
You should be honored by
But
this.
I'm offended that there's people back there who just don't give about our country.
Do you understand that? You should be honored. That means they know how powerful you are.
But
I thought she
Well, I can
wasn't
tell her that-
powerful enough. I thought she didn't have anything to offer them. Like, are you for real? This was less than 30 seconds in this conversation.
More
Yeah.
powerful, they wouldn't want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Very few people get this.
I know. I'm pissed that they don't care more about our country. It's all about the mighty dollar to them. And that's offensive.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
They want to get Trump so bad. They want him out
It's
so
not
bad.
about Trump. This isn't about Trump. It's about you. It's not about Trump.
I'm gonna.
It's about you. It's not about Trump. Some people that are on.
I hate her
this,
because she's
know.
eating the
Listen, I
whole
can
time.
win. Why don't you
Yeah.
go back and tell them
Knowing
that I
she's
can win?
reporting.
And why don't they get behind me?
I see these things through a different lens. It's very personal to you. This was you. It was your name on the ballot, and I get that.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
very
fair.
personal thing.
Well, I have a appointment coming up, and I have to work on my book.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I appreciate their concern.
Just to say,
It's
is
crazy.
there a number at which
I can be bought.
not be bought?
That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple.
You could take a
No.
Let me go right
pause.
back to it.
Is there a number which was you could take a pause?
No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. A billion, no. This is not about money. This is about our country. I think it's disturbing that they would even, that anybody would think this is.
No, to be fair, even me, I'll say this. I want a fresh face right now for the reason that I've never seen anyone. I can't think of a single person in a federal race who's lost, ran in and won. I can't think of it. If you can think of it, let me know.
I'm not going to let these people who hate our country tell me not to run. You should call them and tell them to get behind me.
I mean,
I can
would say
win, and they
those
should get
words.
behind me.
I would happily say those words.
Yeah.
Do you think my words will carry any weight?
Okay, well, did you think you would come in here and that I would be bought?
It's not being bought.
Yes, it is.
I think
It is being bought.
No.
They are trying to buy me out of running.
What
And
I
it's actually, I mean, all right, I'm flattered.
I
I'm
know.
offended. I'm
What I
offended for our
think-
country.
what
We
I
have
think
people
is
like this who live here.
What I think is this, is it can give you an incredible
I can
opportunity
give you an incredible opportunity.
to have a bigger voice to fight for stuff than you currently do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to deal with people like this. These people are un-American, and I think they're unethical, and I would be absolutely immoral if I did that.
Again,
That's immoral. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I, you know.
it's very powerful people that are willing to, they really want someone different. They want new names, whatever it is.
So they want Jim Lehman. That's a new name.
No, actually, that's not even, that's a possibility, but they're even asking me like,
I know they've got all these new names, and I'm going to beat each and every one of them. Sorry, Jeff. Take it back to them.
oh,
I gotta get working.
I know.
I love you, but I gotta get working.
All right, I appreciate it.
I'm just can't believe this.
Hey, again, be honored. Instead of them just
Be honored.
instead of just them working to beat you, they're trying to like.
This is about.
Listen to this. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, it is.
Come whenever you want.
But it's about DeSantis, getting DeSantis in. Getting DeSantis is getting Trump out.
You're reading too deep into it.
Well, let's see what happens. Maybe my case will go through. Maybe they'll do the right thing.
I hope so.
I do too. That's my first goal.
Yeah.
But they can't have me in the governor's office because then we're going to root out some of this corruption.
But again, it's like,
You know what it is? The people don't get to choose their elected officials unless they're pre-approved by the swamp. And the swamp doesn't pre-approve of me.
you need a strong party to help.
I think you should go public with this and then say, hey,
No.
these people don't want to,
Hear
they
that?
don't want,
And then
they're,
I turn my key in my car and I go.
I don't know.
He knows what he's talking about.
Tell them I'm not flattered. I'm offended that
Don't
they,
tell anybody we had this conversation.
I'm offended that they
Don't tell anyone I said this.
don't care about our country more.
I actually wish you'd just give me a counter offer. That's big. Give me a counter.
I can't be bought.
Come on.
I can't.
All right, I'll see.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're watching the Emmy
$800 billion. $800 billion. Tell him that, and then let's see. That's gross. I mean, that's mind-boggling. And again, forget who the people are. It's got nothing to do with who the people are. It's got to do with that very conversation goes on. Listen, I know of conversations that have taken place like that have occurred here in Delaware County in the last month. Now, I don't want to say, and be very careful, I'm not saying there's been anybody talking about money or buying people off. What I'm talking about is there have been people that are in positions of power or perceived power within parties that have looked down to candidates that have been sitting down talking to them saying, I want to run, I would like to run, I'm giving you a heads up. And they have taken every avenue they could to tell them, well, I'm going to tell you a story. I want you to decide. And, I hope you decide not to run. I don't want you to run. You ought to wait 2 years. You ought to wait 3 years. You don't want to run at large. You want to run in a district race. You don't want to run for treasurer. You want to run for auditor, things like that. It has happened in Madison County. It's happened in Delaware County in 2024. And we're only 25 days into the month.
It's happened in Jay County.
Yeah.
I've been privy to conversations on JD's opponents where they say, well, don't run against JD right now. Wait, he'll eventually want to run for something bigger. Just let him keep doing his thing. We know he's not that smart or that good, but he'll eventually move up. He's a good little lap dog. We've trained him to stop peeing on the floor. You just wait until he's done and his time is up, and then maybe we'll let you have it then. Or in the meantime, maybe we'll throw you a council position or something. We'll throw you something if you just step aside.
If you just step aside. And listen, I want to tell you right now, because when we say this, we're not talking of names, so we don't burn people that we, care about or that we're friends with or whatever. But I'll tell you a name that is out in the open and the story's been told, and that is Muncie City Councilor Rose Selvey. Everybody's familiar with the fact that during the 2020 to 2023 council cycle, so from January 2020 to December 31st, 2023, that council that sat there for that 4-year term, Richard Ivey was an at-large councilor. He was tapped to become the deputy mayor, which was stupid. And so his party the Republican Party needed to caucus in a replacement. And the person they caucused in was Rose Selvey. So the party caucused her into the at-large seat to take the place of Richard Ivey. She sat as an at-large council candidate that was picked by the party caucus for almost 3 years. She was a very long-standing, long-sitting caucus party. A lot of people considered her to be voted in incumbent because she just had always been around, but she wasn't. And when it came time for her to file to run for re-election to her seat, the party told Rose Selvey, who has been a lifelong, as long as she's been here in Delaware County, because she's from Lebanon, not Lebanon, Indiana, like the country. When she came to America and she came to Muncie, she started working for the Republican Party. She has been a strong Indiana and Delaware County, quote unquote, Republican. And she's worked many races, worked many campaigns, got a lot of people elected, made major donations, and got money for people. And she's lived a life for the party, good, bad, or indifferent. It is what it is. And then when she went to the party to say simply, I'm running for re-election, they did everything they could do to tell her, we don't want you running for at-large. They wanted her to run for a new seat in the District 3 race, which Roe had exactly no chance of winning. That's the Shed Town area. And Roe, while Roe has people there that care about her, that would not have worked well. She would have got beat and it would have been horrible. And because she dared to tell the party no, they treated her like shit all last year, to the point there are actual posts on the party page where the party congratulated them, and like people like Preston Cross and Shireen Wegley like openly call her not a Republican, tell her she shouldn't be on the page, and have been very nasty to her. And that's why I got offended back during the campaign when she started kowtowing to him again and wouldn't do the interview and all that, because she wanted to, try to make the party happy again. But they literally strong-armed her, and it was open and out in the world knew it. And so that's the only reason I mention it. But, shit like this goes on all the time.
Yeah. I may have exaggerated my last story a little bit. I don't think they said anything about him not peeing on the floor and all that stuff. But what the things that I would hear a lot is they say, wait your turn. They'd be like, wait your turn. They'll say,
Yeah.
you haven't paid dues yet. You need to volunteer more, blah, blah, blah. You need to run for a lower office. You shouldn't be running for that high of an office yet. You need to, goes along with pay your dues. You need to run for dog catcher before you can run for mayor, before you can run for governor, before you can run for president. You can't just run for higher office. Like they'll do all kinds of things to discourage people and not just let the citizens decide.
Yeah. That's absolutely a problem. And that's a lot of the reason why good and intelligent and smart and decent people don't want to get involved with this. They just don't want to deal with that nonsense.
Oh, it's a dirty game. And if you are someone like that and you don't kowtow and say you're going to do what they say, then like we already said, when you go to run, they're going to use all the resources and money they have to stop you. I mean, JD's last election in the primary, they spent what, $100,000 to beat an opponent who spent like $4,000.
Yeah. And that opponent nearly beat him in his home county.
Yeah, because she's a popular and a good candidate, but with that much money and that much help, you just flooded the district with mailers. If they had been on an even playing field with finances, he wouldn't be in the office right now. He would have got smoked.
Yeah.
But the party made sure he'd win. He would have got smoked.
And I'll tell you that I have a problem with that, because all that does is it just that they pushed out lies. Like their last large mailer was just a massive lie campaign. It just completely was trashing his opponent, and his opponent, for the most part, did the right thing. She stayed above the fray, and maybe some of her supporters got down and dirty, but
but he was way down in the mud. He didn't give a crap about running an ethical or a moral or a campaign.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. Absolutely. And, and the county parties all fought against her. The county parties backed JD and said, would not do anything to help her out. And the thing is, that's that Stumblefoot saying it there. It's the Stumblefoot saying it's propaganda, learn to use it. I almost say it's not even that. It's this whole thing about there is enough of us. There's more of us than there are them. So we just have to be able to connect to people. Again, talking about JD's opponent. There was a situation, and I think that you know personally about this, of the situation where his opponent was standing outside of a polling place, and some man came out and read one of her signs, and he was like, "Oh, is that you? You're running against JD?" And she was like, yeah. And he was like, well, you know, are you pro Second Amendment and you're this and this? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I wish I would have known that. I would have voted for you.
It's like she's standing outside the polling place with a giant billboard that says pro Second Amendment. It's like, and you know, JD voted for red flag laws, right? To take away your firearms, actually.
Yeah. Well, did he get told that?
I can't recall now. I think so. I was there, obviously. I was standing with signs too, but
yeah. It's just, and it's that kind of thing, and it's just like, that's why, you know, Rob Kendall says you get the government that, you know,
you deserve, right?
you get the government that you deserve, because, you know, for the people who don't, you know, go out and do what they need to do. Keep in mind, like, I was literally told the day of the third House vote, I was told by somebody, we were talking, and they said, you know, we were talking about, well, I'll tell you what it was. Kate made the comment on the show about voting no just to vote no. And someone said, well, you know, that's not good what your friend is saying. And I was like, what my friend is saying about what? I didn't know they were talking about Kate. And it was someone that was watching the show. And this person said, well, what your friend is saying isn't right, because, you know, she's talking about just being an obstructionist. And I said, look, I'm sorry, but that's kind of how people feel, that it's the same principle of just voting yes all the time. It's not, you know, it's not good. I said, you know, people aren't going that. And the person said, well, you know, people don't like people at the State House who don't play on the team and don't go along to get stuff done. And I said, the point is not about just getting shit passed. The point should be about protecting the citizens and governing by the will of the people. And I said, sometimes not voting is a vote. And this person said to me, well, that's not what so-and-so says in this book I'm reading. They say that if you don't vote, you don't get to bitch. And I'm like, that's not what the First Amendment says, you know, coming back full circle. The First Amendment does not say you can't speak if you don't vote. That's bullshit.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, oh, we got to get a bunch of shit done, so it looks like we're doing something. I'd rather they spend the time and do one really good bill a year that actually helps people than renaming them to Ninja Stars, or which was a bill, what was that, last year?
Mm-hmm.
What you had to call not Chinese throwing stars or Ninja Stars or whatever the PC. I'm sorry if that's offensive. That's just what the bill says.
Yeah. Who am I bothering? Am I bothering ninjas or Chinese or throwing stars? Who's getting offended by that?
All the above. Or naming the state sandwich, or again, JD put in that stupid bill. Two bills now. He wasted time when he could have been doing 2 bills to help people. He's done twice now, the Hoosier state. It's like, why don't you guys just focus? So JD's first term, he put forth what, 2 bills? His first 2 years, he put forward a total of 5 bills, which is a miserable showing. That's just lazy. He wasn't answering. Yeah, he wasn't answering emails. He wasn't putting forward bills. He wasn't doing crap. It's like, dude, just do one good bill, because the bills suck too. They're like new taxes and registration fees on ATVs, allowing unelected officials to pull historic bridges off of the historic bridge registry so they can tear down historic bridges. Like, complete stupid bills. Like, they were garbage. I don't know who handed them to him, but they sucked. And what was it his second year he did the overweight divisible loads? No, because I think his first 2 years he didn't have a single bill passed. That one got passed like his third and fourth year. I think his first 3 sessions he didn't get a single bill passed. But if he'd worked on at least one good bill, he would have gotten it passed.
Right. I was trying to think when he what year it was when he did the bill about taking loads. I can't remember what he said, but I can't remember what year that was. I'll have to go back and look. I think it had to do very similar to what Kate just put up on the screen.
I want to go to I need to email him and ask him when his next town hall is, because I'm sure he'll freaking answer my email and tell me.
Oh, I know he will. He definitely will.
I'm sure it'll be at the State Farm building, and they'll have a no trespassing sign posted. And the second we walk in, they'll have us arrested. But my question for him is, of your 3 bills, or probably might be 4, that you've authored and had passed, which do you think had the greatest impact on helping everyday Hoosiers?
That is a
And why?
fantastic, good question.
Because we've got what? We've got body cam footage fees are raised. We lost our First Amendment rights at meetings. Overweight divisible loads. And now you don't have to check your live animal traps. You can just let them sit out there and suffer for an extra 24 hours. Those are his 4 bills. 3 that have been passed and 1 might be. Those are his bills. Which do you guys think helps us the most? And the overweight divisible loads one, explain it as a bill that says it just changed the timeline on when fees had to be assessed for when a semi is driving with an overweight indivisible load. It just changes the time frame slightly. So which one do you guys think helps us the best?
I think the indivisible loads, but
No, torturing animals, of course.
oh
Ryan,
yeah,
that live trap bill is for real.
That is for real.
That's one of his 3 that he's had passed now. So it used to be that you had to check them within like a certain time frame because it's inhumane to just leave a live animal in a trap and let it suffer and starve to death or dehydrate or whatever. But he was like, well, sometimes the trap might be near water and it gets too wet, and the farmers and the hunters don't want to get their boots wet, so we got to give them 48 hours so the water level can go down so you can check them in. Hell, the animal will be drowned by then anyway. Who gives a crap? I don't mind being inhumane towards animals. This one was handed to me by the Trappers Association, and they gave me $20 for my campaign. That is how he talks. That's his accent, right?
That's yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm definitely fine with that. So, what I want to do?
Freaking Chinese. No, it's God. What is it? What are they called now? I need to find out what they're called by state law, Stumblefoot. I don't know if they're called Chinese stars.
What are they called? Oriental?
I think it's just throwing stars now.
Oh, just throwing stars.
Yeah, I think they removed the adjective, if I remember correctly.
And I think they changed age limits for when you can throw those stars.
They're called the Chinaman stars.
Well, Christopher, you're going to get us canceled. Let's not be offensive now.
So when weapons of mass destruction, it's AWMDs. It's Asian weapons of mass destructions. So let me ask you this. I think here's what we need to do, and this might be conspiracy, so maybe you get arrested anyways. I don't know. But because, I don't know, maybe you're like, screw it, let's do it. I don't know. But because you seem to be a little bit more of the put together of the two of us, I'm willing to take one for the team. And, of course, I'm being calm. We're calm people, but I say what we do is when we find out about the next legislative update,
if we
you go and get there like a few minutes before me, get your seat, and have on your body a clandestine audio recorder. And you record clandestinely, is clandestine without JD knowing. And I will go there also recording audio, but with a camera. And we will see if he tries to, somehow pre-1338 me. And if he does and they call the police, I'm just going to be like, no, I think that this is legal, and push it. And if I end up going to jail, then that way it's not like we're both going to jail. Like, I'm afraid if we showed up there together, like they would try to boot us both. But if you were there, like, so I would get my part, but you would get it. Unless you want to get arrested too, whatever. It is what it is.
I'll
It's
bail
just
you
a
out.
pride bit. All right.
No, when the police show up, go, is this my first warning?
Yes, that's the thing. So yeah, so what we heard was, we were talking and what this means. Oh no,
That's
never mind.
correct, Joey. As long as one person involved in conversation knows, yeah, you can record.
Yeah, for it being oh yeah, absolutely. And so basically all that means is, Brandon, it's not one person knows, it's basically one person has to be part of the conversation. So as long as Brandon says hi,
Yeah, I would love that. Someone, Christopher, just go starfish on the floor.
I would do it. Listen,
it's like, get me out of here, sucker.
I'm going to tell
Barn Dollar
you,
dragging me out by one ankle.
I want to tell you, I come by it naturally. A story, a family story. So, I had an uncle who may or may not have got into a little bit of legal trouble back in the olden days. And ironically, of all places, it was Newcastle where he was in trouble. And they got him, and he was in trouble, but he would never like fought them or whatever. It was over, he was just out kind of doing a joyride, and maybe he had a little bit too much, I don't know, but he was out and they popped him and they were taking him to jail, and he was walking up to jail, and as they got close to the jail, he just said, listen, I want you guys to know I'm not resisting you, but I can't walk in there. You're going to have to carry me. And he just sat down. And he didn't resist them. He didn't fight, but he made them carry him in there.
That's hilarious.
Once he got in there, he was perfectly fine. He complied, did everything they wanted, but he did make them carry them in. And so maybe I'd be like, look, Barn Dollar or wherever we're at, I'm not going to resist you, but you're going to have to carry me out.
That's hilarious. I'm not resisting. I'm just sitting here, minding my own business.
I've got handcuffs. Maybe I need to handcuff myself to a JD or handcuff myself to a building. Maybe it needs to go back to kind of those old school protests.
I don't think you can handcuff yourself to him. His slimy little wrist will slide right out.
What?
His slimy little wrist will slide right out if you try to handcuff yourself to him.
Right.
Better be careful. Have that inside the pants holster out, and you might be in danger.
Yeah, right. Well, I tell you, that's the thing. It's a stumblefoot that I can't afford to be that confrontational. Here's the thing. I mean, I know we're laughing and joking, but there's a lot of seriousness here, and we need to talk about this, and there are people. I'm letting you guys know there are people all over that are pissed off about a lot of this going on. We're talking to people. I've been talking to we did an interview, and that's when you left the country for a minute, but we interviewed Ashley Grogg. I interviewed her back a while ago, and I know that she's really keyed up about this and has been very involved with what's going on. And there's a lot of people involved. What?
Yeah, she's great.
There's a lot of people involved that are mad about this, and I'm telling you guys, the days are passing. Today was Thursday. People needed to be calling their state representatives. Well, the state representative basically gone. People needed to be calling their senators and talking about 1338. We've not even really totally went into, the girls did a little bit last night. There's a House Bill 1133 and a Senate Bill 7, which basically talks about, like, we do a lot of political satire on here, and we make thumbnails and memes of stuff. And if that goes through, we're not going to be able to do that unless we put a disclaimer on it, or they could sue us.
Can we talk about that bill for a second?
Hell yeah.
Okay, sorry I didn't want to interrupt you, but
no, go on with it. You start talking. I'm going to pull it up.
So House Bill 1133 is another self-serving bill for the politicians that says essentially they're worried about AI being used against political candidates. So the bill basically says that it'll make it illegal to make an AI representation of a politician, not a normal citizen, but a politician that a rational person wouldn't be able to tell that it's parody or that it's fake, that misrepresents what they say. So my biggest problem with this bill, yeah, just cut him off. You're right, Stonefoot. My biggest problem with the bill is I think it's funny that it says politician specifically. So if anyone wants to make a AI video of Kristopher saying absurd things, they can do that, but not if he's a politician. But we can't do that to JD Prescott because he's going to be running for office again, unfortunately, for the district. But
Oh, no. Get into the Senate bill
Yeah, I'm pulling that up now.
I
and
haven't
look at
looked.
the amendments
I haven't looked at the
for the
Senate
Senate
one.
bill. The
Yeah.
Senate bill is even more onerous than this one. The language in it and the penalties and stuff like that is a lot more strict.
And
And they
is-
changed the definition of candidate to elected official, person in office.
Oh, so you can't make fun of any political official
So you can't
or
make fun of
can't-
any. Yeah.
Yeah. Check and make sure that I'm not incorrect. I might be wrong, but that's the way I was reading it.
So
And
again,
it was an amendment.
I'm sure nobody here is struggling with their grocery bills or anything due to this inflation or anything like that. We need to make sure that nobody's making fun of these dickheads in office because their job needs to be easy. They need to make sure that nobody's picking on them because they're a bunch of little snowflakes who can't handle it. If you can't handle it, then don't run for office. How about that?
Yeah.
This is stupid. Use
All
of
right, let's-
fabricated media in elections.
Let's look at where what are you looking at right now?
And I'm not so much against that. I think it's kind of weird. Like people do really gross stuff with it. And I've got problems with it, but they're not trying to protect
On
citizens.
the
They're trying
left,
to protect.
Senate amendments.
Yeah.
I
On the
also,
left.
there's nothing in there.
Oh, this is not available right now. And there's also bill versions, which might tell you something.
Yeah.
Where did it talk about where? Okay, hold on here. Let me go down here. Okay, so see, it says the fabricated media depicts an individual, and the fabricated media is disseminated without the consent of the individual in the fabricated media. Fabricated media is disseminated less than 90 days before an election. Wait a minute. Where does it talk about who the individual is?
And then it says after that, the purpose of the dissemination is injuring a candidate in an election or influencing the you know who probably really generated all their fervor with this bill, don't you?
Who?
Dark Dan.
Dark Dan. You know what, though? It wasn't anybody around here that did any of this. I mean, that's
Who
very
wrote
good.
the bills?
Yeah. Senator Spencer Deary
Who the
and
hell
Scott
is that?
Baldwin. I don't know. I never heard of either any of them.
Baldwin sounds like someone would shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
Fabricated media is similar. A level 5 felony.
Yeah, dude. That's not even the lowest. This is crazy. This is like the guy that went to jail for making the meme on Twitter. And it's like, dude, this is scary stuff. And if they don't want to think that what we were talking about in 1338 is like the slippery slope, it's all of these things are interconnected. All of these things, who they reach out to are those of us in this kind of field. And I want to say, for the record, a judge in Delaware County Circuit Court 5 stated, and it's on the record, that YouTube personalities, podcasters, vloggers, influencers, blah, 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 whatever, is a legitimate source of income and a legitimate business in 2024. And people need to take that they are members of the media and that it is a legitimate source of income in a legitimate business. And that was Judge Cannon in Delaware County Circuit Court 5. And so now we here I consider this we are a political commentary team. When I reach out and talk to people, I tell people that this is a media, organization focused on political commentary. And I consider it to be a full-blown organization. And when we put out memes and other things like that, we're doing so in furtherance of the show and furtherance of our ideas. And it's all very much tied in. And now they're telling us that we cannot do that. I feel like they are retaliating against us because of our beliefs, because of who I support, who I don't support, who Brandon supports or don't support, or Kate, or vice versa, or whatever. And to me, that's a violation of my First Amendment. It might not be a violation of JD's, but it's a violation of mine. Maybe he doesn't make memes of people. Good for him. But to me, it is a violation of my First Amendment.
I don't think he knows.
My apologies. It was the House bill that they added an amendment to.
Okay.
Back to the old housey bill.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say.
And it passed. Of course. Wesco.
It's been through 2 readings, I think.
Amendment 1. No, you never hear the reasoning. But again, this goes to they're not doing anything. How does this help citizens? This helps politicians. House Bill 1338 doesn't help citizens. That helps politicians. It restricts our rights to make their jobs easier. They're already taking our tax money. They're our employees, but they're going to tell us what they're going to do. You want to talk about a union? These Republicans hate unions.
Yeah. Right here, look at this. Page 5, line 5, insert, for purposes of this subsection, candidate includes an individual who holds a state office, legislative office, school board office, or local office. Why?
Yeah. To protect themselves. They don't want people making fun of them. They want their job to be stupidly easy. Knowingly, intentionally, or recklessly making a meme.
Well, you know what's scary? What's scary about that is like in they say people who people that don't a reasonable person. What a reasonable person might know. Well, I don't know what a reasonable person. I don't think JD's a reasonable person.
No.
And the really fun part is both of these bills at the tail end, they're emergencies.
Oh, so that it goes and is enacted before this next election? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
If it's an emergency one, it goes in as soon as it's voted in, right? The governor's supposed to sign it immediately.
As soon as the governor signs it and it goes into effect like July. Those are the emergencies.
Where do you see that at?
Got to go to the bill's full version and scroll all the way down to the bottom.
It's an emergency. They need to make sure they win the election. So,
right.
Hey, remember when we were trying to get them to cut the gas tax last year?
Mm-hmm.
And not only was it not an emergency, they waited until they did a special session. By the time they got the special session, they said, it doesn't matter anymore. We don't need to cut your gas tax. But this is an emergency.
Yeah.
People are losing their homes, can't afford gas to get to work, but this is an emergency. Idiots don't want people to make them look like the idiots they are.
I'm gonna send this guy an email tomorrow and find out why on earth this is a fucking emergency.
Because election's coming up.
Here it is, right here. See right here. Right here. Section 20.
An emergency
Section 5. An emergency is declared for this act.
An emergency. What a piece of crap.
I mean, are you for real?
What if we make the AI now and it's not within 90 days, but then they're still playing it within 90 days?
If what?
That's why I said we need to get crazy making shit.
Yeah, I'll make something to make fun of. Who is it? Orloff who made this an emergency?
Yeah. Let's find out who he is. Find out what that deal is. Julie Olaf. Oh, yep. We can make fun of her. I'm sure we can find something to make fun of her with.
I'm sure we could.
Oh, yeah. Representative Julie Olaf, you didn't know what you did.
Why is she dressed as a flight attendant? Does that not look like she's in a flight attendant suit?
Yes. Hey, Julie Olaf, pay attention to these signs over here and these exit over here. Hopefully we can walk you out one during this upcoming November election.
Yeah, no shit.
This is crazy. Let's see what she's done. Let's see.
Representation of qualified foster children, offender against children residency restrictions, use of digitally altered. There's that bullshit. Homeowners Association covenants, special service review team, and emergency placement. It's a lot of kid stuff.
So it's like, wow, you did some really good stuff. And then what's this crazy shit?
Hey, how about this kid stuff? Is that an emergency? Or just you getting reelected?
Ooh, let's go see. That is good. Let's see. Let's find out. What is this? Provides that child and child's need of service proceeding who meets certain requirements is entitled to be represented by counsel. Requires a juvenile court in certain circumstances to appoint counsel. Let's find out if this one was an emergency.
Aren't chins represented typically by God, what is it called? Now I'm spacing that one. DACA?
CASA?
DACA? CASA, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no emergency.
Deferred action for no, CASA is what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah. No emergency there. No emergency.
Yeah, kids don't need representation.
Dude, that's nuts. Well, and we keep talking about let's put her next to an Alaskan airline flight door on its very first day back out. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good, John.
I want to show you this. Man, that is really these people. Cool. I just keep getting more and more pissed off by these same and yet different idiots. It's amazing.
Can we look at Larissa Sweet's bills?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's go look at
some interesting bills.
I've contacted. So for transparency, I do want to let everybody know that I was kind of pissed off this morning. And first thing up, where are we at? What's going on? First thing out of the gate this morning, I made a post that basically kind of knocked on these people a little bit. Says, look, it's not shocking that Indiana State Representative J.D. Prescott authored House Bill 1338, an unconstitutional bill designed to silence citizens and deny them of the First Amendment right to redress their local government without fear of retaliation. Sadly, that's just how Prescott is. Like many that call themselves Republicans and or conservatives in the Indiana General Assembly, it's really clear that he is not in the business of defending liberty. That said, it is really heartbreaking to find out that state representatives like Becky Cash and Larissa Sweet folded so easily and voted right along with the rest of the establishment Republicans. Here I thought we had at least a few liberty fighters in the mix, but hell, they turned out to be duds. Sweet was promising, but her vote on House Bill 1338 derailed that promise. But Cash, man, who knows what she's been doing? What a disappointment, all capped off by her vote on House Bill 1338. Sad. The one thing that keeps me plugging along is the fact that it's 2024 and it's an election year and all 100 state representatives are up for re-election. Stay tuned for here for more. And just a quick reminder to all of the elected officials out there, remember, an enemy of freedom and of the Constitution is definitely an enemy of the political spotlight. And I posted pictures of this vulture-looking creature here.
You've got a better picture of that creature.
Oh, yeah, we'll start using the blinking eye when...
How does he look like he's
the
100
tie
years
is
old?
crooked as usual, so I mean, it works at least.
Yeah.
It's an accurate depiction of
It
him.
is an accurate depiction.
So
What
here's a fun game for the audience. How old do you think he is looking at that dude's picture?
Yeah. Does anybody know how old this old man is?
It looks like he's got dentures, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yes. Let's get an age for JD Prescott there, folks.
How
And
tall you
then-
think he is?
4'9".
I didn't know they stack
That's
shit
right,
that
too
tall.
Yeah, 4'2". Now, does anybody know how old this man is?
Hey now.
This is Becky. I'm sorry. This is Becky Sweets. No, Becky Cash.
You are so confused right now, sir.
Yeah, I'm way confused. This is a woman, not a man. This is Becky Cash, and then also Larissa Sweet. And I just want to say, for the record, that a couple people commented on this on the public post, and one person reached out to me and said that there's a little bit of issues with the way they voted. There's a little bit of discrepancy. And she said, maybe you could get them on the show. So I said, yeah, I would love that. Brandon and I would love to have them on. And if something happened with Miss Cash or Miss Sweet, I would be fine to go back and to correct this. Or if they corrected their vote at a later date, we could look at why and all that. Because look, here's the thing. If somebody's fighting for liberty and supposed to be fighting for liberty, and they voted in favor of that bill, but then because they got an onslaught and a beating, and then because of that beating, they changed their vote. Well, I don't know that my opinion's going to change a whole lot. Yeah, they might go back and fix it, but it's kind of like you only did that because you got the snot beat out of you on this. So that kind of worries me. But if there was a legitimate
supposed to have stories, and that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear their stories, and we will give them the benefit of the doubt.
And I promise at least one of them is going to tell you that they were playing our game. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Yes. And it just ended when they hit no.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic. Maybe they were watching while they were doing it.
That'd be so horrible.
That's what Kate said she wanted to do, and just whichever one she ended on, that was going to be the one. But so we had a go-between, an intermediary that was working to get them on. And then towards the early evening, I actually got someone sent me both of their phone numbers. So I personally reached out. So I have reached out to Representative Sweet, and I've offered her the opportunity to come on. We will be lovely to her, be wonderful, treat her with respect, even if we disagree. But I mean, we'll debate, but it'll be what it'll be. The same thing with Becky Cash. I mean, they do need to stand up for the way they voted one way or the other, and we need to find out. But I'm interested in their stories. So hopefully in the next couple days, we will have them on. That being said, I just wanted to say that I did put that out. Now, Brandon wants to look at Sweet's.
She's got some interesting bills. She's got some
does.
very, very impactful bills. So HB 1286 is the one that we talked about with what is his name? Last time I was on John Schrock.
John Schrock. What
one
was it?
1286 is the one that we talked about with him, where it's saying go back to paper ballots.
Oh yes, okay.
And nobody jumped on as looks like no conservatives jumped on as a co-author, sponsor, anything like that. So
yeah, it's just her.
So she's interesting because she called out on Facebook. She said, Diego Morales said that we were going to go to paper ballots when he gets in office. I'm sure he will pressure our Republican colleagues to do that. She's like, I'll put it forward. Let's do it. And as far as I know, Diego's bailed out.
Can you look at bill actions to see if it's been assigned to committee?
It probably hasn't, but we can check.
Bill
This is kind of fun. This
action.
shows people how this works too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Got a
assigned to
first
committee.
reading, referred to committee.
Oh, I'm shocked actually.
But we're running out of time pretty quickly. So
Referred to committee on the 9th. What's happened?
Click on that. Elections and apportionment. We should be able to find it. Past meetings have been on the well, there's no meeting on the 9th. But it should say if they voted on it or not. They may not have heard it in committee. It could have been assigned to committee and they just didn't hear it. Because they'll do that too. Because I don't see 1286 in here.
33 passed. There's that one.
So they generally only put something through if the party approves of it and they know they're going to pass it.
Various election matters.
I don't know of anything that's heard in committee that doesn't pass. I don't know if I've ever seen that. There's 12.
Huh?
I just didn't know that 1265 was. That's another. Timothy Wesco has a couple election matters, and his went up there, but not the paper ballot one.
Well, and see, this is the thing that really pisses me off because they have these committee meetings, and you notice they don't have upcoming committee meetings to show you what they're going to be discussing at any of those. They only put up the ones they already had. Well, that's completely useless because if there's a bill I'm really interested in and I want to go and talk at the committee or listen to the committee or even view the committee while it's happening, I have no way of doing that because I don't know what's coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's that basically.
So that one's interesting. So they're probably not going to hear it because she's spoken out against him. So that's funny. You'd think all these Republicans who talk about election security all the rest of the year would jump on that one right away, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Why would you not?
So that's interesting. She has an interesting co-author on one of them. I think I sent you before.
Okay, what's daylight saving?
Oh, that one's cool.
That's my interesting.
Becky Cash got on that one. Zach Payne and Craig Haggard got on that one.
Yeah.
So gets us out of daylight savings time. That's when Christopher. See, you forgot about that one. You are a sweet fan.
Yep. Authored.
Again, this was referred to committee, but not heard yet.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, it would. Okay, so back to her.
Okay, so protection of born alive infants.
Where's that at?
The second and the fifth one. One of those has an interesting co-author. The other one, for some reason, he didn't sign on to. Okay, so nobody signed on to this one. This one basically outlaws abortion. Our 100% pro-life J.D. Prescott, for some reason, did not sign on to this, even though he's 100% pro-life. He did not sign on to this one. It's just her by herself again, even though we're a super conservative state. 1287 is interesting. That's the Baby Rivers bill.
Oh, yes.
Again, co-authored by Becky Cash, Craig Haggard, and Representative J.D. Prescott. Or Jaundice Dick, as Joey calls him.
Isn't that the one that he voted against when it was put forward by Nisley and Jacob?
I think, you know what? I think he did. And then he tried to put it forward himself. They didn't get it passed. And now Larissa Sweet's putting it forward. And so he signed on as a co-author. You might be right.
When it was initially presented as an amendment, he voted no.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. I think that's right.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Because he didn't want Nisley to get the win during election season. They told him not to.
Right.
And then her last one is state regulation of mobile food vendors, which is interesting. That must have been an issue in her area. So you have to get a health department license to operate a mobile food unit. Well, I guess I'm okay with that. You do it for restaurants. Why not a truck of warm seafood in the middle of a landlocked Indiana.
Give it to committee. No, I mean nothing. I mean they just send all her shit away, and nothing ever happens to it.
Oh no! It's because Dan's been pushing against it for the trunk shrimp. It's gonna shut him down on his trunk shrimp.
Yes, that's right.
It's like, no, I don't have a license to sell these shrimp out of the trunk. So that's the other thing that happens when you don't suck up to the party. They kick you out of caucus. They won't let any of your bills go through. They basically shut you down. Even simple ones that they need to do, like daylight savings time, like, nah, we'll send it to committee, but we're not going to hear it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
so
ridiculous.
yeah, that's her stuff, and that's District 50. Where's she up? Is District 50 up by like Warsaw?
I think so. It's like somewhere north of us here. I'm not exactly sure where it is. I thought it was around like Bluffton-y area, Warsaw area. We can find it there, can't we?
Yeah.
View caucus page?
What's that at?
On the left side. That might tell you more. That gives you like contact information. Usually there's surveys on there. Stuff like that. Oh, it opens it on a new screen, and I was like, why is it not opening?
Yeah.
There you go. HD 50.
Huntington, yeah, Wabash, Huntington. So that's a funky looking district.
Yeah, dude, they invented the tenderloin sandwich up there.
Yeah.
At Nick's in Huntington. You ever had that tenderloin
yes.
sandwich?
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
Most tenderloin sandwiches are good though, except them Pete's Pride ones.
That's hilarious. Good God. So for
they're still talking drunk shrimp down here.
Are you kidding me? No, you guys don't know. See, it's for all you people that aren't math geniuses. The way that Riding Hour is. Here's the trunk shrimp, $5 per pound. It's $20 for 3 pounds, cash only.
He's on the cell phone.
Huh?
I like him on the cell phone with the chef's hat.
He's doing like some math.
Oh, I gotcha.
He's doing
I like the little shrimpy guy on the bottom there of the car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got a whatever chef's hat on too.
Well, he's back at it, so he must have stopped eating the trunk shrimp. So
yeah, he must have. I think he's still losing weight. Like, I mean, he's the incredible shrinking man, but yeah, apparently he's.
Oh yeah, his suits are looking loose.
Dude, I'm telling you, each and every day, this is what I. Hold on. This is what I think of.
Every day.
I can't play music. But this is
Give me your Ohio.
that would be hilarious. Yes.
That's what I thought you were gonna play.
Hold on here. I'm trying to get it. Oh damn it.
The Rizzler. We need to end with that. That's a high note right there. Now I'm curious what Christopher's looking up. I'm just reading comments right now. For the Rizzler.
Showing you Mayor Riding Hour. Stand right here. I got it.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I can't play any music to it.
Oh no. What is he doing? Oh, he's dancing in a big suit. It says right there on the bottom.
Yeah, you never seen this?
No, that's hilarious.
David Byrne.
Have you seen, or did I show you that video of that weird dude who he's like Italian, but he's trying to sing a song in what sounds like English, but it's not a language at all?
Yes. Yes.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It sounds like he's saying nothing, but he's saying something, but he's singing nothing. That is hilarious, this dance.
Yeah, you know the Talking Heads, eh?
No.
Oh, you don't know the Talking Heads?
I know of the Talking Heads. I don't listen to
Oh
the Talking
yeah,
Heads.
dude. That's you if you want to watch if you want to watch and listen to some really, really good music, you would probably do really good to watch just type in Stop Making Sense. And it's a tour that they filmed back in the maybe mid to early 80s, early to mid 80s. And they recently re-released it, and so they got with David Byrne, and they made this promo, and this is him now. Watch this.
Hello. Hi, I'm picking up. It's been here for a while. Give me a sec.
You remind me of Christian Bale in American Psycho a little bit sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay, I found it right here. Yeah, that's it.
A giant
Wow. Okay, you got it. Thank
Very
you.
good.
watch
Have a
it when
great
he goes
day.
home. Ah, damn it! Don't play the music. He tried.
Did he always wear the giant suit?
Not always. It was just what he did in the. They re-released it. Stop Making Sense 2023. Yeah, Brandon, you're into music. You ought to watch that.
Okay.
That had nothing to do with politics there, folks. That was like an intermission. But all right. So I think is there anything else you want to add before we roll out?
No, I think I ran it long enough, but I think we got the point across that our representatives in their party look out for themselves. They don't give a crap about us, which has been clear, but they're making it more and more obvious. But for some reason, people aren't picking up on it. Some people aren't, but hopefully, people are picking up on it. I guess is the better.
I'm hoping, because if not, we're screwed. And here's the thing: every time we say you get the government you deserve, what I'm really saying is quit screwing my shit up, because I've also got a government that I don't deserve. I've got the government that you deserve, and I would like the government that I deserve. I mean, you know what I mean? We're doing our shit. We need everybody else to help on too.
It's like studying for a test. You don't study, you're going to get an F. We've been studying.
Right.
We're trying to get that A, but the whole curve's all screwed up.
Yes, right. The curve. Did John seriously say that we're too young to know Stop Making Sense? Bro, I could stop doing this political podcast tomorrow and start up just like that with a music podcast and would lay you all to waste. I know.
We've got on that rant before.
Oh, yeah. I do
When
that.
we talk about our favorite bass guitarists and singers and all that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, but to Kate's point, if you're in Indiana, contact your state reps, state senators, say no to HB 1338, no to HB 1133, and Senate Bill 7. Because they're blocked now.
Real quick, hold on. Put real quick here.
Christopher says real quick, and the first thing that goes to my head is SpongeBob. 10 hours later.
Yes.
3 hours later. Just a sec. So yeah, I need to contact my senator. I might have to do that tonight. I don't know when they're going to hear it on the Senate side. I think basically what they do, if you're not aware, is the House and the Senate, they each hear all their crap the first couple weeks. Once they're done with that, they send it to the other side, and then they vote on the Senate votes on the House bills, and the House votes on the Senate bills. And if and they can amend it and all that stuff. If they amend it, I think it goes back to the House or the Senate, wherever it came from, so that they can then vote again with the amendments. And then if that happens, then it goes to the governor's office and he can sign it or not. If he signs it, it's going to go into law. If he doesn't sign it and just lets it sit on his desk long enough, it eventually becomes law anyway. So I think that's more symbolic than anything, right? That's how it works, right?
Yeah, yes, it is. And he can also veto.
Yeah,
goes back, and it's a big ordeal.
Yeah, Catherine, my senator is what is it you always call him, Christopher? Holdman. Mine's Holdman, Travis Holdman. But Christopher always says it really funny. I can't remember what he says.
Holderman.
I also talked to I'm in District 33. Mine's Holdman, but the other District 33 senator is Alexander. And I'll
No. He's District 26.
Well, who? Alexander?
Alexander's District 26.
Well, I'm saying he's like part of. So I'm in House District 33. Half of House District 33.
They make it as hard as possible.
Yeah, because the Senate districts aren't the same as the House districts.
Yeah.
So Winchester, for instance, and Portland are both in District 33. But like Jay County's senator is Holdman, and Winchester's Randolph County senator is Alexander.
Right. And only half of Jay County is in District 33.
Correct.
All of Jay County is in the Senate district.
Correct.
And it's the reverse for Randolph County. All of Randolph County is in District 33, but only half is in. It's so fucked up.
Yeah. So the north half of Jay County's representative is Lehman, who is the House minority. No, he's the majority leader, right? What would he be? He's not the minority leader. Lehman.
Is he Republican?
Yeah.
He would be
the majority leader, not the speaker.
Yeah, he's the majority leader, not the speaker.
Correct. But he's got the top half of Jay County and north of us. And then I think they tried to district JD's opponent out of District 33, and too far south didn't work.
Wah, wah.
But he has a new opponent that I know nothing about. Greg LeMaster is going to run against him in the primary.
Yeah, so here it is.
Sorry, I was wasting time while Christopher's searching, so we don't just watch Christopher looking at a screen.
Yeah. Well, I know I didn't see Kate had put that up, so I put that thing up on the bottom. Contact state representatives and senators to say no to House Bill 1338, 1133, and Senate Bill 7, which is what she also put up. But that's not the thing. This is what I was doing. So you guys can understand what's happening here.
Can look around
here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Senate districts for the next 10 years, and all of these different colors are another district. So
next 10 years.
Well, it's for each it's how it is.
Oh, it's the districts for the next 10 years. I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, the districts for the next 10 years. So just in this area here, basically, so you guys can know what we're working with. Too far.
Holderman, okay. That's what you call him.
Holderman, yeah. Here's Delaware County and Randolph County. This pink district, Delaware and Randolph, all of Delaware and all of Randolph is District 26. This is the Senate. That's for Scott Alexander. The light blue up here is District 19. That's
Holderman.
Jay County, Blackford County, Wells County, Adams County. That's what is his real name? Holdman. Okay. Rotz is Henry County, Wayne County, Union County, and then part of Franklin County. Madison County is and 25 goes over into Hamilton County. That's Mike Gaskell. This is Senate. And then Grant County, which is 17. damn it, I forget who that is. I have a hard time keeping everybody straight.
Yeah, I just know the ones around me. I knew Rod and Alexander and Holdman.
Anyways,
Hey,
so
Gaskell's Madison County.
yeah, that's Andy Zay is 17. And so
Zay is running for Congress.
Yeah.
And so is Chuck Goodrich. Chuck Goodrich is the one who wrote that bill last session that was the complete conflict of interest, where he was trying to give a ton of money to his business and said, "Oh, I didn't realize that," which means you're either a horrible businessman and an idiot, a horrible representative and an idiot, or corrupt.
Yeah.
It has to be one of the three.
I want everybody to watch what happens here. This is the state Senate. This is Madison County. This is Delaware County, Randolph County. And so you can see Delaware and Randolph are together, District 26 for the state Senate. And here's Jay County. Here's Henry County and Wayne County, Madison County. Now we're getting ready to kick over in that same area to the House map. And this is what the House map looks like. So here's Delaware County, and Delaware County is divided up into 3 different districts. So there are 3 representatives out of in Delaware County. We've got Sue Arrington, Democrat, right in the middle. That's District 34. District 33 is all of Blackford County, 2/3 of Jay County, all of Randolph County, and 1 freaking township of Henry County, which is just absurd. That's JD's area. Then the middle part right here in the city of Muncie is District 34. That's Sue Arrington. And then over here in 35 is Elizabeth Roway. Down here in Anderson is 36. That's Kyle Pierce. Corey Criswell is this green area.
You said Corey, and I was going to say Bory Fink.
That would be horrible. That would be absolutely horrible. There was a time, folks, that I could tell you probably a good 20 of the representatives and probably 10 or 15 senators, but I've lost that ability. It's something I'm in my 40s now. I can't do that anymore for some reason. I've lost that ability, but
hey, we're not square.
Yeah, right. So it's real crazy. I always hate when people are like that. When people say that, it twitches my eyeball. When they're like, JD's District 33 and Scott Alexander's District 33, and I'm like, no, that's not true.
No, they have overlapping area, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's the Senate and the House district.
Yeah. So it's confusing. They make it confusing purposefully. And, it is what it is.
Well, and I think part of it is to make the districts as bizarre as humanly possible, to make anybody who runs against them have difficulties in navigating it.
Well, yeah. And then what's really funny to me is when you get down here and you look at like Indianapolis and you see like just a whole neighborhood is just, is a district,
Dude, if, like District 33, trying to walk doors there is so fucking difficult, man, because it's like just area-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, you spend like 70% of your time just driving.
Yeah.
Where like if you get in like I'm sure in Indy, like you can cover like a lot of houses, right? I mean, it's a lot of houses still, but they're all more together.
Yeah. It's crazy to me to see that. But then look at some of the other areas, but then if you think about it, how crazy it is if you're going to run, that's the state house maps. And then if you want to look at Indiana U.S. Congress, Then those changed, and they changed for 10 years too, because they go from
Those are real big.
census to census. But then here's our congressional.
On a good note, though, when they changed the congressional districts, we lost poor Mike Pence's brother as our representative.
Yes,
he's gone now anyway.
And now we have Banks.
Yeah.
Yay. And this is the one that splits Randolph County in half.
Oh no, we don't have Banks, thank God.
I hate you.
Yeah, I don't have Banks. Yay, we don't have Banks.
You know what's crazy though? Well, you might if he wins this new race.
Yeah,
but,
right.
God help us all.
Oh shit, I don't remember what I was gonna say now. I was gonna say the crazy thing is too, you don't even have to live in a congressional district to run for it, we realize.
That's what's insane. You want to talk about this horse shit not being fair and there just no reason, no rhyme or reason. You can live down here in this pink area and you can run for this congressional district up here in the green area.
You just have to live in the state, right?
You have to live in the state. Or you could look at this big ass area. I mean, this is insane.
Oh yeah. I don't know how you represent that many people. Like you're not talking to that many people. Ever. Like they got their 5 friends they talk to and that's it.
That's hilarious. Look how little. I mean, you got District 7, Andre Carson. The only thing I know is he talks to Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, there you go.
He's the only person I know he talks to. Thanks, Tony Katz. All right. Well, that's enough of that. I don't know what we've even been talking about here, but that's a little bit of map. I mean, this is really in the weeds. Hey, there was some.
We wrap it up like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. Whoops. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Contact the people, and let them know we're pissed off. Tell them the political spotlight's pissed off and that we're coming for them.
Yeah, they can talk about us in the State House.
Figuratively and politically speaking, obviously. I mean, don't make us sound like a terrorist organization.
Correct.
That would be good of you. Today's Thursday, which thank God that means I'm off tomorrow. I'm off Saturday. Sunday night, we'll be back. Hey, before we go, I want to read this last thing, and this is what we're going to talk about on Sunday. I have to get this in. I know that there's not a lot of people here, but I want to make a short of this real quick. Just bear with me. It's just this little bottom section of the Star Press. I want to make sure that give me 1 second here. Okay, right here we are. So the Star Press put out their article on Tuesday's Tuesday's council meeting. And I hate it because if you look at the title before you click on it, it says something like Delaware County Commissioner's Economic Development Agreement with Solar Developer stinks. But
are you serious?
But then when you click on it, it doesn't. Let me see if I can get it to do it.
Like that's an
look.
Or something?
Commissioners agreed to give Invenergy tax credits if abatement sinks. Well, damn.
That'd be so funny.
That's what I get for not reading it with my glasses earlier. Commissioners agreed to give Invenergy tax credits if abatement sinks. Okay, well, screw that. So you click on it, and for the record, this is really good writing for David Pinnicuff. So the other day I was giving him some shit, so I want to give him an attaboy. It says Delaware County Commissioners entered into a 2021 Economic Development Agreement with Invenergy developer of the planned Meadow Forge solar project. The agreement promised tax credits equal to the amount of the tax abatement should county council withdraw the solar project's tax abatement. So there again, like Bill Hughes said, they're admitting that they can do it. County council member Bill Hughes said that if the council repealed the Meadow Forge tax abatement, estimated to be worth about $5 million, the agreement requires that Invenergy receive a credit against future property tax of $5 million. Additionally, Invenergy would no longer be required to hold up its part of the economic agreement. It's sort of a heads they win, tails we lose proposition from my point of view, Counselor Hughes says, a former local attorney. The provision of the what?
So the commissioner basically tied the council's hands by saying, "Yeah, you guys can try to repeal it, but we'll just we're screwed anyway." Then
that's what we're doing. The provision in the Economic Development Agreement was discovered by the council's tax abatement committee members who studied documents related to the abatement granted to Meadow Forge and Hawthorne utility-scale solar projects in northern Delaware County. The committee met on January 9th to discuss the issues. The Invenergy agreement with commissioners stated that the company would pay Delaware County up to $200,000 annually for 10 years. That amount can decrease if tax assessments rise to more than $8,000 per acre for the land after the solar panels are in operation on the acreage. The amount can also fluctuate with the production capacity of the solar development. Council member, what?
Didn't you and Kate discover that with 10 seconds of reading the documents?
Yeah, it was really easy. I mean, anybody, and that's what they hid from me for nearly 3 months. I asked for it for 3 months because anybody can find it. It's on it's a 33-page document, and it's on page 6. It's really near the front. It's very easy to find. It's stupid. Council members have discussed canceling the abatement after a substantial number of residents living near the proposed project objected to the planned solar field that would stretch from near Gaston north to the county line in Washington Township. Hawthorne Solar is a separate company proposing smaller solar project in Delaware Township and does not have an economic development agreement with Delaware County. Property owners have entered into lease agreements for the Hawthorne Solar developments. According to the report to the full council, attorneys for the development have expressed an intent to file a suit against the county if the promised tax abatements are rescinded. Christina Kern Wheeler, an attorney for Invenergy, warned the council that they cannot legally take away the abatements. Meadow Forge property tax abatement was for 10 years, starting at 100% the first year and decreasing by 10% each year after. In Indiana, tax abatements have gone away because projects have failed or recipients have failed to live up to its part of the abatement agreement, such as not hiring as the agreed upon number of employees. Muncie-based attorney Beasley Gilkinson provided a memorandum to the council that said local council members absolutely have the right to revoke the abatement as they have any other matters. Attorneys on all sides have said that this has not yet been a court ruling. Go figure. But Hughes noted by saying the agreement that Invenergy is entitled to a tax credit if abatement is withdrawn. Invenergy concedes the council has the power to repeal. They are conceding that we do have the authority, Hughes said. Should the $5 million provision be enforced, it would do financial harm to the county. So the question has to be, who did this? Well, the answer is the 3 commissioners did it. So the commissioners entered us into an agreement that will do harm if this happens. So whose side are they on? Hughes also noted the commissioners and Invenergy signed the agreement, but not the county council, which happens to be the fiscal body for the county. Hughes went on to say, I don't know how the county commissioners have the authority to grant a tax credit, Hughes said. That's very important. Hughes said that. I want James King to know that. I want Henry to know that. Hughes said that, not me.
The attorney.
He suggested, what?
The attorney, correct?
He's a councilman, but he was an attorney at one point.
Oh, okay.
He is District 2 counselor, but he was a county council attorney for like 30 years, so he knows his shit.
Oh, okay.
He suggested the attorneys for the commissioners and the council research that issue. But should the matter go to litigation, it could be lengthy and expensive process for the county with little guidance from previous cases or how the courts might decide the issues involved. Another matter addressed the council committee dealt with having the countryside of Washington Township declared as an economic revitalization area, which is described in statute area as an area of deterioration, substandard buildings, and obsolescence. However, attorneys for Hawthorne and Meadow Forge both noted 2 cases from Pulaski County in which the Court of Appeals held that farmland developed in solar energy projects can be economic revitalization areas, which makes the law in Indiana. Council member Matt Kantz said the county council does not know where the projects stand and suggested conducting a public hearing in which representatives from both companies can give a report on solar developments in front of the public. That's good. Here's the problem. Jessica Piper, a coward and council president, said the council should get together with the commissioners on the abatement issue first before scheduling a public hearing. No, they need to do it in the public hearing. It needs to be in front of the public. With all of this craziness and with all of the crazy actions that the commissioners have done, it needs to be in front of the public, period. She wants to do that and schedule this, said the council representatives could discuss this matter with the commissioners and look to have a possible hearing with the solar developers for after the next county council meeting scheduled February 27th. Councilor Ryan Webb later told the Star Press that the county council leadership was already working to set up an executive session with the commissioners ahead of the late February meeting. I am saying no. They cannot. We have to, along with calling the state representatives and state senators, we need to let these people know. No, like Henry County meets all the time in a work session with both the commissioners and the council. Delaware County can do the same damn thing. These people cannot do this behind closed doors. We need a reason and an explanation for why this has happened. And to hell with all these people saying behind closed doors. So we'll be talking about that on Sunday. That'll be a big show on Sunday, folks. We'll be talking more about that. We'll be gearing up for all of next month's stuff as well. Monday, I don't know what we have. Tuesday, we have a really big show. I think Brandon's going to be back on with us, and we're going to do a cross-promotional show. Us and the Mouthwash podcast out of southern Madison County, Hancock County, somewhere down in there. They're similar to us. They walk the line a little bit more, but it'll be a good way to cross-breed, cross-promote, and do whatever. So, all right. Well, it's been a long one, but thank you very much. Thank you, Brando. Thanks to Kate.
Always fun.
Do that thing that all of you guys know. Share the show with everyone. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Go to bed. Take care. Brush your teeth.
February 1st is Donald Rainwater.
February 1st is also Donald Rainwater interview. So be looking out for that. And say no to drugs. Say yes to drugs. And say no to politicians. Good night. Goodbye. God bless. See ya. Brandon. What? Where did you go? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me for real?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, good thing our microphones are off. We can just talk badly about everything.
Last time we left them on, and everybody's like, "Your mics are on," but no, I don't know. I hate all those people so much.
I know, they're just so crazy.
Got Paula Lyons.
Oh, we're swinging my weed eater. I need to get out the old. I don't have a snowblower. Get out the old snowblower.
Now re-swing that weed eater. Good, I love it. Turn that lights out, Stumblefoot said. Oh, and on Sunday I'm going to pitch out an email to Stumblefoot. Maybe, I don't know. I got to ask. Can I talk about that email, Stumblefoot? Uh-oh, I wasn't doing my job.
Hold the plug.
I'm freaking out. Here we go. We're gonna mute. Here it goes.